Hi there, Sandy here. Welcome to another jewelry making video at my YouTube channel and my blog, keepsakecrafts.net. Today we're going to be making this Aurora Borealis bracelet. These larger beads have a coating that shows many colors, and you could choose any or all of them for your accents. So to make this bracelet, the first thing you'll need are some larger nugget beads. And I just have these glass crystals that have an Aurora Borealis, or an AB, coating on them so that it reflects different colors. You'll also need an assortment of medium-sized beads strung onto head pins, and those are just for a few dangle accents. And you'll need some smaller beads. I have an assortment of 2mm crystals, some bugle beads, silver spacers, and so on. Smaller beads for our strung strands. You'll need a split ring, 2 bead cones, a toggle clasp, 2 3-inch pieces of 20 gauge wire, 2 wire protectors, 2 crimp covers, and a bunch of crimps. And you'll need some bead stringing wire. For tools, you'll need chain nose pliers, round nose pliers, wire cutters, a pair of crimping pliers, and some split ring pliers are helpful. So the first thing to do is make your bead dangles, and you can see I've just strung these together with some of my smaller beads onto head pins and made wrapped loops, and I've saved this last one to show you how to do it. So once you have all your beads on your head pin, just go ahead and grasp that head pin where it comes out of the last bead with chain nose pliers and make a 90-degree bend. Tuck in round nose pliers into that bend, make a loop, reposition, finish the loop, and then hold that loop with one pair of chain nose pliers and use another pair just to wrap that wire around the little bit of wire above the last bead. Trim off the excess and use chain nose pliers to tuck in that end if you need to. Repeat for all of your dangles, however many you like to make, and then you can use split ring pliers just to open up the split ring and add all the loops to it. And now that that's made, just go ahead and set it aside. Next, take your bead stringing wire and string on 3 inches of your small beads. It can be a random assortment or a pattern, it's entirely up to you. So once you have your 3 inches of beads added to your bead stringing wire, and notice I just left it on the spool, go ahead and add a crimp bead, which I've already done, and then send the wire back through the crimp. And pull it up to make just a small loop, maybe 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. It doesn't have to be very big or particularly small. And then go ahead and flatten that crimp. Use whatever method you like. Crimping pliers, I'm just going to use my chain nose pliers. Give it a good squeeze, make sure it's secure, and then trim the excess wire. Slide your beads down and trim off the bead stringing wire to about 1.5 inches long. Slide on another crimp, slide the wire back through the crimp, and pull up again to make a loop. Leave a little bit of slack in the wire so that it's flexible, and then once again flatten that crimp. Again, test and trim the excess. And you're going to repeat this for as many strands as you want on the small bead strand side of your bracelet. Here I've made a total of 6, but you can make as many as looks good to you. Now take one of your pieces of wire, the 3-inch 20 gauge wire, and give that a bend about 1 inch from one end. Tuck in your round nose pliers and make a loop. Don't make it too small because we need to fit in all of these wire ends. And doesn't have to be pretty because this is going to be hidden inside the bead cone. And then you're just going to slide on one end of each of your little bead strands. Close up that loop and hold it with chain nose pliers. And then just wrap that wire end around just to secure it. Again, it doesn't have to be a beautiful wrap loop. Trim off any excess and then slide on a bead cone. You can see the bead cone hides all of those wire ends. And now we're going to form a wrapped loop here. So the same way, chain nose pliers, 90-degree bend, round nose pliers, make a loop, and then wrap the wire. Trim the excess and tuck in the end so there's no sharp ends. And we'll leave these other ends free for the moment. And next we're going to work on the section with our nuggets, or our larger pieces. Again, you can work right on the spool of bead stringing wire and string on your beads. And what you want here is about 3 inches of beads, with the spacer, if you like, in between each one. And then a crimp and a wire protector. And slide on the loop section of your toggle clasp, and then slide that wire back through the crimp. Go ahead and flatten that crimp, trim off the excess wire, and cover with the crimp cover. Now slide your beads all the way down and trim this, leaving a 1.5 or 2 inch end. Slide on a crimp, and then slide on the split ring that you filled with dangles, and then a wire protector, and then the loop that's coming out of the cone that you just put together. And then slide that wire back through the crimp, and then once again flatten that crimp and cover it with a crimp cover. And now you can see you have that fun little dangle right in between the 2 sections of your bracelet. So now take your second 3-inch piece of wire and repeat what we did before. Make a 90-degree bend, make a loop with your round nose pliers, and add in the other ends of your little beaded sections. Make a wrap to secure, trim the excess, and add your second bead cone. And now just take a minute to check the size. If you need to, you can add some more beads to this. I see that mine's going to be just about right, so then we just make our second wrapped loop and add the toggle bar, and your bracelet is done. Here's another look at the bracelet we made today. These half and half designs are a fun way of incorporating lots of different interesting elements into one piece. This would be a great design to use like chunky gemstone like turquoise nuggets and a whole series of bright southwestern beads. Or really any colors you like would work. I hope you enjoyed this project and you'll give it a try. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a like, share it with your friends, and make sure you've subscribed to my YouTube channel so you'll see more like it. Up on the screen are a couple other bracelet videos you might enjoy watching. You can follow me on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and on my blog. Happy creating. Bye-bye.